Welcome to MSB lecture series on main group chemistry. In my last lecture, I began in discussion on the organometallic chemistry of main group elements. So, let me continue from where I had stopped. I was discussing about the Lewis acidic properties of organometallic compounds of especially group 13 elements like tri-alkyl aluminum and tri-alkyl aryl boron compounds. Here tri-alkyl and tri-boron compounds are mild Lewis acids. So, when they react with strong carbonyl reagent, that leads to anions of the type Br4 minus, that is okay. So, example one can consider sodium, salt of tetraphenyl borate. The bulky anion here hydrolyzes very slowly in neutral or basic water and is useful for the preparation of large positive cations. In fact, in coordination chemistry, these large anions are very essential to stabilize and crystallize larger positive ions or larger cations. If you treat this one with potassium, one can conveniently make the potassium salt as well. Okay. This potassium salt of tetraphenyl borate is insoluble, used for the gravimetric estimation of potassium, an example of the low solubility of large cation and large anion salts in water. These Lewis acidic boron compounds, organoboron compounds such as tri-alkyl aryl boron can also react with catechol . So, this kind of compounds also one can anticipate. Organohalogen compounds or organohaloboron compounds are more reactive than simple trialkyl boron compounds. So, let us look into the preparation of these organohaloboron compounds, because these compounds are very useful in further derivatization of main group or transition elements. Let us look into the preparation of this organohaloboron compounds. Treatment of BCl3 with trialkyl aluminum leads to the alkyl boron chloride . Of course, this reaction can also be termed as metathesis reaction. Okay. Or one can also go for a redistribution reaction. For example, treatment of BCl3 with trimethyl boron leads to the redistribution. Of course, this reaction has to be carried out in diborane B2H6. It leads to the formation of BMeCl2. This is redistribution reaction. Okay. Of course, these organohaloboron compounds having very reactive BCl bonds can undergo nucleophilic substitution reaction to give a variety of other derivatives. For example, they can react with alcohols and amines and other reagents. Let me give a couple of examples here. Okay. So, here Y3BMeCl2. Or one can also perform this reaction starting from N-butyl lithium . Okay. So, these are some of the reactions. Once you have some BCl bond, one can look into a variety of other reagents. Let us look into organoaluminum compounds with less bulky alkyl groups. Dimerization occurs, and one of the distinguishing feature of alkyl bridge is the small Al-CAl angle, which is 75 degree here. Okay. It is unusual. Of course, carbon is tetrahedral. However, the angle is very small because two smaller aluminum ions in their +3 state, they come very close to each other. As a result, this angle shrinks to as low as 75 degree. These 3 center 2 electron bonds are very weak and tend to dissociate in the pure liquid, which increases with increase in the bulkiness of the alkyl groups. For example, if you use very bulky groups on aluminum, it is possible to stabilize in monomeric state. Some examples I have given here. You can see here 2,4,6 trimethyl phenyl groups. One can have simple AlR3 in the monomeric form, whereas in case of less bulky groups, it undergoes dimerization similar to Al2Cl6. Of course, here one can see the dissociation constant here. Al2CH36, when it dissociates into two monomeric species, K equals 1.52 into 10 to the power minus 8, whereas when you have C4H9, this is 2.3 into 10 to the power minus 4. Okay. This triphenyl aluminum exists as a dimer with bridging eta1 phenyl group lying in a plane perpendicular to the line joining the two aluminum atoms. If the two aluminum atoms are like this, okay, and essentially the aromatic group is perpendicular to it. This structure is favored partly on steric grounds and partly by supplementation of Al-CAl bond by electron donation from the phenyl pi orbitals to the aluminum atom. So, tendency for bridging, if you look into it, for example, if you look into Al-Cl3 and Al-PH3 and Al-Me3 or Al-ET3, the tendency for bridging is more in case of halides, and next is phenyl, and the least one is for alkyl groups. That means, if you just consider Al-Cl3, more tendency is there for bridging because chlorine has a lone pair. Next one will be Al-PH3 and next one will be Al-Me3. Okay. Here essentially it becomes 3 center 2 electron bond, more electron deficient. Here pi electron count can be utilized to strengthen the bridging unit or 3 center 2 electron bond, and here it is no longer a 3 center 2 electron bond as chlorine is readily giving a pair of electrons that will go to the empty sp3 orbital on aluminum. Two aluminums, if you assume, are in the plane. This is perpendicular, something like this. With this kind of arrangement, the overlapping of pi cloud with aluminum will be much more efficient. Empty sp3 orbital will be more efficient. that I have shown here. You can see here 2 aluminum. Of course, one has 1 electron, other one has no electron, similar to diboron type. These two will interact with carbon, sp2 of phenyl, and then of course, with now this is along the plane, and now we have this p orbits that are perpendicular to this one. So, they essentially interact with aluminum orbitals, that is one is sp3 with a pair, another one is antibonding one. So, an additional interaction between the p pi orbital on carbon and an antisymmetric combination of aluminum orbital. This essentially strengthens the aluminum carbon aluminum bond, and hence they are little more stable compared to the analogous alkyl compounds. So, let us look into the synthesis of these organoaluminum compounds, very useful as alkene polymerization catalysts and chemical intermediates, and of course, they are expensive carbonyl reagents for the replacement of halogens from organic groups by metathesis. Let me give the laboratory synthesis of trimethyl aluminum. In laboratory synthesis, they react directly dimethyl mercury with aluminum metal. This gives Al2 Me6 plus. Okay. A commercial method involves the treatment of aluminum with methyl chloride. This is laboratory scale preparation. Commercial method, here aluminum is directly treated with methyl chloride, that leads to the formation of initially dichlorotetramethyl dialuminum Al2Cl4 CH3 4 times. This Al2Cl4 CH3 4 times, when it is reacted with 6 equivalents of sodium, Al2 CH3 6 times. So, trimethyl aluminum will be formed, okay, plus 2Al 6 NaCl. Of course, these equations I have not balanced. One should be able to write the balanced equation in this case. Another important method is there for the preparation of ethyl aluminum, which finds application in polymerization reactions, and in this case the reaction that is used is hydrometallation reaction. For example, aluminum when it is treated with hydrogen gas and ethylene or alkene, of course, temperature maintained is 110 and the pressure is 100 to 200 atmosphere. This leads to the formation of Al2 CH2 CH2 or 6 times. This is quite opposite to beta hydrogen elimination reaction. The reaction probably proceeds by the formation of a surface aluminum hydride species that adds across the double bond of the alkene in a hydrometallation reaction. Essentially, it is a hydrogenation reaction in which H2 is broken and sits on aluminum to form aluminum hydrogen bond, and then addition of alkene takes place and it is getting hydrogenated, leading to the formation of this trialkyl aluminum compound. Okay. And of course, these trialkyl aluminum compounds can undergo reactions with alcohols and amines. Let me write a couple of examples here. If we take 2AlR3, treat this one with alcohol. Similarly, it can undergo reaction with secondary amine. Of course, plus 2RH will come. Should remember one of this will be a coordinate bond, something like this. So, alkyl aluminum compounds are mild Lewis acids and form complexes with ethers, amines and anions. When heated, often beta hydrogen elimination is responsible for the decomposition of ethyl and higher alkyl aluminum compounds. So, tendency towards bridging structure shown here. Okay, so this is the sequence they follow. So, let us look into Ziegler-Natta polymerization catalysis, where aluminum alkyls plays major role. Of course, here you take a olefin here and metal complex, and it undergoes polymerization to give in this fashion. Insertion of aluminum alkyls into olefin was essentially studied by Ziegler. And if you take here a simple ethyl aluminum compound is shown here, when ethylene is added under moderate pressure on heating, this is the group that keep on adding, and then it undergoes oxidation, and then we get the corresponding polymer. So, here, and of course, here initially this trialkyl aluminum is treated with TiCl4, it gives an insoluble precipitate, and to this one on adding ethylene, high molecular weight linear polymer will be obtained. So, this essentially here it involves both aluminum as well as titanium, the sequence of reactions and also the direction of bond breakage and bond formation are shown here in this one. It goes like this. So, these two people, Natta and Ziegler, were given Nobel Prize in 1963 for this important discovery. So, TiCl4 on treatment with trimethyl aluminum, it initially forms a dimetallic compound of this type involving one chlorine and one methyl bridges, and this is an insoluble complex. On treatment with ethylene, it adds ethylene to titanium, and then rearrangement takes place, and this is moved on to the bridging CH2 CH3 group, and then termination by chain transfer happens, and eventually we get this polymer, and this keep on adding until everything is hydrogenated here. So, let us look into organogallium compounds. Organogallium compounds, one method I have shown here. Essentially, alkyl lithium compounds are used. So, appropriate alkyl lithium reagents, when they are treated with gallium trichloride, one can get trialkyl gallium compound. So, this trialkyl gallium compounds are also mild Lewis acid. So, the corresponding metathesis reaction in ether produces the complex of this type. So, ether adduct. Okay. Similarly, excess of ethyl lithium leads to the salt of this type. Of course, if you take triethyl or trialkyl gallium, and if you take another lithium, alkyl lithium, it can form a anionic species. It is shown here. For example, you take gallium trichloride and treat this one with 4 equivalents. So, what we get is 3 equivalents of lithium chloride plus lithium salt of gallium tetraethyl. Alkyl indium and alkyl thallium compounds may be prepared similar to gallium analogues. Trimethyl indium is monomeric in the gas phase, and in the solid the bond lengths indicate the association is very weak. Partial hydrolysis of thallium, trimethyl thallium yields the linear dimethyl thallium plus ion, which is isoelectronic and isostructural with dimethyl mercury. Both Cp indium and Cp thallium exist as monomers in the gas phase but are associated in solids. So, they display inert pair effect. Cp thallium is useful as a synthetic reagent in organometallic chemistry because it is not as highly reducing as NaCp. So, wherever NaCp has to be used, one can conveniently use Cp thallium. Okay. So, this indium compound is shown here. It is tetrameric in the solid state, having 3 center 2 electron bonds, and this one with benzyl, tribenzyl indium, this is monomeric in nature, and this one has a dimeric structure here. So, organogallium and organoindium compounds can also be made, and in fact low coordinated compounds can also be made provided R groups are very bulky. Species of this type R2E2 having single bond and R4E2 with EE bond order of 1.5 can be prepared for both gallium and indium with very bulky R groups like this trimethylsilyl methyl group or 2,4,6 triisopropyl phenyl group, and reduction of this one, essentially this gallium compound, is accompanied by a shortening of the gallium bond from 250 to 234 picometer. That means a normal gallium single bond distance is 252, and if it changes to 234, it indicates the multiple bond character in this one. So, using even bulkier substituents, it is even possible to prepare gallium 1 compound having one coordination like RGA starting from gallium iodide. No structural data are yet available for this monomer I have shown here. So, if you use a sufficiently very bulky groups like this, you should be able to make a alkyl gallium having alkyl to gallium ratio 1:1. So, this one undergoes dimerization, and this one on treatment with sodium undergoes reduction to form a gallium double bonded compound. Here gallium distance is 235. This is an indication of the multiple bond character between gallium and gallium. Of course, for more information one can look into this paper, appeared in JOGS in 2003. So, this crystallized as dimer but reverts to monomer when dissolved in cyclohexane. There are a few more examples of organogallium compounds. Of course, if you take this mono or aryl gallium dichloride and reduce it with sodium, that leads to the formation of a cyclic structure having 2-pi aromatic system here. And of course, once when you take this trimethylsilyl methyl lithium and treat with gallium bromide, one can make a dimeric species of this type. Of course, I have given an example. The reaction of this compound with iodine in boiling hexane results in the formation of a compound of this composition. Along with this composition, suggest structure for these compounds and state the oxidation state of gallium in the starting material and product. So, this is an easy product. By deriving clue from this one as well as this one, you should be able to work out so this problem given here. Okay. So, interest in organometallic compounds of gallium, indium and thallium is mainly because of their potential use as precursors to semiconducting materials such as gallium arsenide and indium phosphide. So, volatile compounds can be used in the growth of thin films by MOCVD. MOCVD is nothing but metal organic chemical vapor deposition, or MOVPE, metal organic vapor phase epitaxy techniques. So, precursors include appropriate Lewis base adducts of metal alkyls. Example, if you take methyl gallium adduct of trimethylamine or methyl trimethyl indium adduct of triethylphosphine, you should see here. So, trimethyl gallium is highly volatile and trimethylamine is volatile. Similarly, here trimethylindium is volatile and triethylphosphine is volatile. So, preferably volatile compound should be taken in this metal organic chemical vapor deposition. So, thermal decomposition of gaseous precursors results in the semiconductor 3 and 5 semiconductors which can be deposited in thin films. A typical method I have shown here, trimethyl gallium, okay, at high temperature. So, gaseous trimethyl gallium, when it is treated with arsine, heated to 1000 to 1150 Kelvin, gallium arsenide is formed along with the liberation of only methane here. So, 3,5 semiconductors derive their name from the old groups 13 and 15 and include aluminum arsenide, aluminum stibide Sb, and gallium phosphide, gallium arsenide, and also antimonide, indium phosphide, INA, indium arsenide, and indium antimonide. Of these, gallium arsenide is of the greatest commercial interest. Although silicon is probably the most important commercial semiconductor, a major advantage of gallium arsenide over silicon is that the charge carrier mobility is much greater. This makes gallium arsenide suitable for high speed electronic devices. So, another important difference is that gallium arsenide exhibits a fully allowed electronic transition between valence and conduction bands, that is, it is a direct band gap semiconductor, whereas silicon is an indirect band gap semiconductor. So, one should know the difference between these two. The consequence of difference is that gallium arsenide, also other 3 and 5 types, are more suited than silicon for use in optoelectronic devices, since light is emitted more efficiently. So, these 3-5 types have important application in light emitting diodes as well, so LEDs. So, let me stop here. In my next lecture, I will conclude the organometallic chemistry of main group elements. Thank you very much.